SV Warriors. I recently shared in the Sobrevivencia email newsletter my daily SV empowerment session, right? The DES, or the daily empowerment session. And I gave it in detail there. And I wanted to thank you for all the kind feedback. And that's exactly what I want to hear. If you like it and you want more of that, then go ahead and comment below. And for those of you, if you're still not receiving that newsletter, it's a free newsletter. All you have to do is just request it. It's kind of daily-ish newsletter. I don't do it every single day, but just about. And it's chock full of information and regarding Sobrevivencia and how to incorporate this lifestyle, Cuban cane art of survival, of winning, especially if you're over the age of 50. And all you have to do to start receiving that, by the way, is just text SV for Sobrevivencia and NL for newsletter, SVNL, to the number on the screen. You give them your name, your email, and you'll start receiving it if you want to opt out, which I doubt you will because it's awesome. But you can just go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do here is kind of say some things that will complement. I'm not going to go into as heavy a detail as I did there in the newsletter, but just highlight some of the major factors and areas of how you want to have a daily SV practice, or at the minimum, a weekly practice. Why? Because not only does it have so many benefits, but it's enjoyable to do and something that you're going to be looking forward to. So the first component is finding the time. Now, the founder and I are both really big on the morning session because this is, once you get into the groove of doing this, just the endorphins and just the way you oxygenates you, it just energizes you and gives you this mental clarity so that you can tackle the day, right? And there's three main areas. Finding the time, by the way, if you don't have 30 minutes, let's say you set out to do a 30 minutes, because with they're bite-sized, and all the research shows that if you break it down and you do 10, 15 minutes here, 10, 15 minutes here, and maybe even do another one, it's when you need that boost, that is just as good in terms of the benefits as if you did one longer session. So the session that I shared there is about 30 minutes of movement. And the three main areas are the breathing, right? So you want to have, start that off with the breathing, the mind clearing, and that's where you quiet everything down. Now, those two together are designed, that's why if you're praying there, you're going to bring all these factors together to help reset the nerve system, quiet down sympathetic stimulation, that's your fight or flight, and then bring about parasympathetic, you're quieting down. That oxygenates everything. And then you do the third component. So you have your breathing, you have your mind clearing, your centering, and then you put both of those together with movement, that they're natural movements. They're not jarring to the system. You can customize it based on any limitations you have. Even if you're not ambulating and you're sitting down, you can still do these movements. And you don't have to, for instance, how do you break it down if you don't have 30 minutes in the morning to do that? Well, how about if you cut that in half and you do 15 minutes and you dedicate 5 minutes to the breathing, 5 minutes to quieting down, and then 5 minutes of movement. If you've never done 5 minutes of flow movement with a cane, with a dowel, with an umbrella, with whatever it is, it may surprise you. And the movements, again, are very specific because they're not jarring movements that you're doing. They're natural movements that are designed, they're gentle, so they work with the body. You can then take that again if you want, and if not, that's it for you for the day, right? If you're having a busy day, but if not, if you're feeling pretty good about that, because you're going to see that you're very settled, you feel pretty good, you can repeat it a second time in the afternoon, or in the early evening, and that really adds up. And so if you're listening to this and you're going, That's great. I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can do it. I'm not clear on the movements themselves, or what the breathing method is like, or what the quieting of the mind and how you do that. So there's several ways you can do that. We teach that, when you come to live trainings and immersion, we teach it online so that you can start learning that right away. But I want to invite you one more time to next week. We have the Sobrevivencia Accelerator week, and every day is dedicated to 1 hour dedicated to a different topic, which we're going to kick it off with what we call the warm-up and that daily empowerment session. Talk about that and make sure that you're solid with it. The first 2 days are going to deal with that and with movement, and then Wednesday through Friday, it's all going to be how the movement ties into self-protection application, right? Which is what coming down for that, but those first 2 days. And again, if you can't show up live, that's fine, because you have lifetime access to the recordings, but we are going to close it out this week because it starts on Monday. So if you still don't have a spot in there, go ahead and do it. Look at the information below. Go ahead and reach out. We're at 800-289-8188, but it's for everyone. It's regardless of whether you are a beginner, whether you are looking to become an instructor, and we have quite a few that want to have an interest in becoming an instructor, whether you are ACST or from another, so that doesn't matter. You're just curious. This is very much going to lay the foundation and answer a lot of your questions there. You have lifetime access to the recordings. You can't go wrong. So again, if you're liking this, go ahead and comment below, because that's what lets us know which way to go forward in terms of this content. And again, if you're not receiving that, if you love Sobrevivencia and not receiving the free newsletter, just go ahead and text the number of the screen and put on there that they'll know how to handle it when you put SVNL on it. That's it. That's all I got for you. I'll see you on the next video.